So you want to get started with TikTok ads? Then this video is for you. I will show you everything you need to know step by step. First, we are going to set up our own TikTok campaign, and then we will launch our very first ad. And next, I will show you how to scale your TikTok campaigns. And the key here is very strong video creatives, and I will show you exactly where to get them. And in the very last bonus chapter of this course, I will give you an exclusive look into my own TikTok Ads Manager, and I will show you the most important KPIs and how to analyze them. So if you are serious about getting started with TikTok ads, then let's dive in. Before we start, really important, you will find my partner link down in the video description to the TikTok Ads Manager. And if you click on it, you will land on this page, and here you can see that TikTok is currently supporting you with up to 6,000 USD in ad credits. So that's quite a nice offer from TikTok. It starts at 200 USD. So when you spend 200 USD on the platform, TikTok will add another 200 USD to your ad credits. And this goes all the way up to 10,000 USD. So if you spend 10,000 USD, TikTok will add 6,000 USD to your ad credits. And of course, this goes in steps. For example, 500 USD, 1000 USD, 2000 USD, and so on. There are some terms and conditions. For example, you need to activate this coupon in the first 30 days. And don't worry, if you're already signed up for TikTok, then you can just go ahead, sign out, click on the link in the video description, and create a new account with another email. And you can't activate this via Shopify. So when you install the TikTok app on your Shopify store, this is excluded. It's only available via the partner link. And as said, you will find the partner link down here. So feel free to click on it and then read through the terms and conditions. But once you have done this, you can then just sign up for your TikTok ads account. You just type in your email and create a password. Then you have to accept the terms and conditions and click next. Then there will be a quick challenge. You have to just select the two objects which are alike and click next. And now you will get a two-factor code sent to your email. I will just paste that in really quickly. And now you can just type in your business name, and then my website is julianweber.com. And of course, I don't type in my correct phone number. And then I can just accept the terms and conditions again and then get started. And once you have signed up, you will land on this screen, and up here you will see the coupon. Unfortunately, I already signed in a little earlier, so I just got offered 850 euros here in my region, but you should see the up to 6,000 USD or whatever is available in your region. And TikTok changes this from time to time. It can be $500, $1,000, or currently, because Q4 is coming up, it's $6,000. But now let's start creating our first campaign. We can do this here under campaign and create our first advertising campaign on TikTok. So let's start. What is our advertising objective? You have brand awareness, which is usually for brands, as the name says, for bigger brands like Coca-Cola or Nike. They just want to get the word out about their brand, about their product, and therefore they often choose brand awareness. And you can get traffic to your website or video views, so a lot of views on your TikTok videos, or even community interactions. So you can also choose brand awareness if you just want to grow your channel, because community interactions are likes, follows, and comments. But I think most of you want to go for sales because you have an online shop and you just want sales for your online shop. And therefore you can select the objective sales and select website conversions. But first, in order to track sales on our website, we need to set up a pixel. And therefore you go on tools and then on the event manager of TikTok ads. And once you are in the event manager, you can see I already have 2 pixels installed, but let's connect a new data source up here. And you can either connect your website, your app, your CRM system, or even offline conversions. But I think most of you will have a website, and then you can click next. And now just type in the URL of your website. I will just take my website here. Click next. And now we have the option to do the installation with a partner integration, for example, from Shopify, WooCommerce, or the Google Tag Manager, or you can choose the manual setup. But I think most of you will have some partner integration. So we go for example with Shopify and choose whatever content system you are using. And now they will give me a step-by-step guide on how to install the pixel on Shopify. But since you have me, you don't need this installation guide. So let's head over to Shopify and I will show you how to do this. So just go on your shop, go on search and type in TikTok, then click next. and then you will see the TikTok app in the Shopify App Store, and we want to install this. And next we can continue the setup. And here we can connect our TikTok business account with our Shopify store by just hitting connect. And now we can connect the two. Now it's a little bit funny. You have to click connect multiple times. Just hit connect all the time here. And down here, you need to select how much data you want to share with TikTok. So please talk to your data policy guy. It is highly depending on your privacy policy. But if you choose standard, the TikTok Pixel will get less data. If you choose maximum, the TikTok Pixel will get all the data which is available. And then click confirm. And now the TikTok Pixel is connected, but you can also double check this by installing the TikTok Pixel Helper on your Chrome browser. So just type in Pixel Helper and install it, and then go to your online shop, such as this one, for example, and then you just refresh the page. And here on the TikTok Pixel Helper Chrome extension, you see that there was a page view and a view content. So that already worked, and the Pixel is successfully installed on our store. So that's very nice. Now we can just go back to our campaign, just click on campaign and then on create. And now we can set up our first campaign. And the screen will look something like this, or if you signed up for the first time, it can also look like this. But in my campaign, it looks already like this, so we will go ahead with this one. So first, we need to choose an advertising objective. And I think most of you want conversions because this is what generates cash flow in the end. Therefore, we can go with sales. And you might have the TikTok shop, so you can also promote stuff in your TikTok shop. But I think most of you will have a website, an online shop where they can promote their products. And here you can choose the Smart Plus campaign. And with this campaign, TikTok will take care of most of the settings like placements, audience targeting, and more. But I do want to have some control over my budget and where I spend it on which target group. So I will choose manual campaign. And now we need to give our campaign a name. So I want to have sales for my new watches. And down here are some more advanced options. For example, here, create a split test. With this option, you can create an A/B test and test different ads, different target audiences, but you don't need it from the get-go. So for now, we are done with setting up our first campaign with the objective sales and the manual campaign setup. So let's hit continue and we will come to the next level of our campaign. I just made a quick graphic for this. So in order for you to understand the whole thing, we have 3 different layers. The first layer is a campaign with our goal. So for example, we now want conversions, but you might also just want traffic or views on your video. And one campaign can have multiple ad groups. So for example, this campaign has 2 ad groups. And now on the second level, on the ad group level, we can choose the target audience. So are we targeting men or women? What kind of hobbies do they have? How much money can they spend? And we can also choose the placement. Do we want to run on TikTok or their partner network? And we can set the budget. And on the very last level, we set our ads. So this is where we upload our videos. And one campaign can have multiple ad groups and one ad group can have multiple ads. So just keep that in mind while we go through the setup. So let's go back. Now we are on the ad group level, on the second level. And here we can give it a name. And this highly depends on your internal processes and how you name stuff. But in this ad group, I want to target men between the age of 20 and 45 on TikTok. You can also just put in the date of the campaign or just call it ad group 2, but it will get messy at some point. So make it a habit to name your campaigns and ad groups properly. And here we can choose the TikTok Pixel, which we already set up on Shopify. And you can have different optimization events such as add to cart or purchase or even view content. Since we don't have any purchase conversion yet, we can't select it here, but add to cart is also a good event to start with because you will have way more add to cart events than purchase conversions, because we all know we see stuff online and we put it in our shopping cart, but we never end up buying it. The more conversions you have, the better TikTok can optimize for conversions. This will help TikTok to optimize for the add to cart conversion. Next, we can choose the placement. And here I would recommend just go for TikTok. We don't need the app bundle network from them, and we don't need Pangle, which is the ad network from TikTok. So this is a collective of different publishers, and TikTok just buys some ad placement from them. So your video will be displayed on different media networks, but I don't have very good experience with that. I will just solely run my TikTok ads on TikTok. And last but not least, we can choose the targeting, and TikTok kind of recommends you to not do anything here because broad targeting is the best solution for most advertisers. I mean, they are sort of true. We live in the age of AI, and the AI will find the right people for your offer. And if you set up the conversion tracking correctly, the AI will also have enough data to optimize this for. But if you know exactly the people who are going to purchase your stuff, then you can put some targeting options down here. For example, we can go for demographics. If I know I just want to sell my stuff in Germany, or you can also add another country, for example, Austria, then I can also ship my products to Austria. And I only sell products for people between 18 and let's say 44. So I can deselect these two, and I only sell to men because it's a men's watch. But don't get too fancy here, because also women are buying watches for their men for their birthday or for Christmas. So that is why TikTok is kind of right to not target too much and leave it a little bit broad. But for now, I will just leave it for men to see if the audience is right for this campaign. And next, you can choose the language. So if you're speaking to the camera, or if you have a voiceover in your ad, and for example, in my case, it would be in German, then this is a good thing to select here, because otherwise people can't really understand your ad. And down here, you also have custom audiences, but therefore you would need some traffic to your store. I will later show you in this course how to set up an audience. You can also go for a lookalike audience, meaning you have a certain amount of people on your store, for example, 1,000 visitors in the last 30 days, and then TikTok will create a lookalike audience, meaning it will find you people who look like these people. And of course, if you have 1,000 customers and people who look like them, they are also more likely to buy your products in the future. But we don't have any data yet, so we can leave it blank. And next, you have your detailed targeting. And if you have ever set up a meta campaign for Facebook or Instagram, you probably know that. Here you can split your audience by the interest or by the purchase intention, or for example, video interactions. So since we want to sell watches, we can go for watches. We can just type it in, watch. And then we have people who are interested in watches. So these are people who just Google, I don't know, Rolex or Philippe Patek or something, or Swatch. Those people are just interested in watches. And you have also people who have a certain purchase intention. So these are people who lately typed into Google, I want to buy a watch. And of course, people who are interested, this audience size is way bigger. So you can see 6.3 million to 7.8 million people. And people who have a purchase intention, of course, this audience size is way smaller. For example, here 250,000 people have a certain purchase intention in Germany who are male between the age of 18 and 44 years old. But now we have in total, we have the available audience size, and TikTok still says it's narrow because you just have 2.3 million to 2.8 million people in your audience. But I think it's okay. This is a certain amount of people you can at least test your creatives with. But in general, TikTok is kind of right. If you have a product which appeals to a lot of people, like watches, then you can leave it broad because TikTok will find you the people who are purchasing watches online. And one last thing, if you're selling a very high-end watch, which costs a lot of money, then you can choose high spending power. So if we just selling Rolexes on our store, we can go for high spending power. And of course, the audience will narrow down because not many people have this amount of spending power. So I will leave it broad at all. And down here, you can also select the device. But since every ad on TikTok is mobile, you just choose between Android and iOS. So an iPhone or, for example, a Samsung phone. And this is not really important for most of you. But for example, if you're advertising apps on the iOS store, you want to go for iOS instead of Android. But we don't need this right now. And we can go to the very last step, to the budget and schedule. And here you can set up your daily budget. You can then go for $20. I'm in euro, so never mind, but you can just set up $20, which is the least amount TikTok wants you to spend on the daily base. And here you can set up your start time. So for example, maybe we want to start this campaign tomorrow at 10 a.m. And please make sure you are in the right time zone. For example, I'm based in Berlin or Germany, and then I will select my time zone. And here you can also select if you want to run it all day, or maybe you just want to run it in the evenings, or maybe just on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you can also select the specific timing. And of course, the optimization goal is conversions, as we talked about it. And you can also set a target CPA, meaning you have a target price per conversion. So for example, if my watch is selling for $200 and I set my target value for $50, then I will allow TikTok to spend $50 to get me a sale. But I wouldn't recommend that you set this up right now because we don't have any data yet. I would first leave it blank, spend a couple of $100, and then see what is your target CPA. And later on, then you can type it in, because this will help you scale. Because if you increase the budget on your campaign, TikTok might overspend, and this will prevent TikTok from overspending, because if it doesn't find any new customers for $50, it will stop the campaign. So, but this is also more advanced option, and I don't want to confuse you that much. So for you, go for the TikTok Pixel, just select it here, choose your placement TikTok. The targeting you can leave broad or make some basic adjustments like the age and the country and the language, and then just set your daily budget, and you are all set for now for the ad level. So next we can click continue, and this will bring us to the third level, the ads, where we can actually upload our creatives. So this is now the interesting part. And here you can give the ad a name, for example, video 1 watch, very creative, I know. And then you can upload your creative, so you can hit add. And now you have two options. You can either upload a video from your laptop, so you can just go here and just drag it in. So for example, I have this video of a watch, and then I can just upload, and now TikTok is uploading it for me. I just need to hit upload one more time, and now the video is uploading. And you can also have TikTok posts inside your campaign. Therefore, we need to link our TikTok account, and then you can directly promote videos which are already live on your TikTok account. So that's also very cool. TikTok calls it Spark Ads. I don't know why, it's just a fancy name for this type of ad. And you can also promote content which is on other people's TikTok account. So if you're working closely with influencers, they can create a video for your brand, and then they can give you a code. You can type it in here, and then you can promote their videos on their TikTok account, but you can say to which website it will link to. But I will show you this in the second step. For now, let's go with the creative library. Here you can just upload whatever you have on your desktop, whatever creative you already produced. As said, in the next part, I will show you how to create good TikTok ad creatives. But for now, I hope you already have one, so you can upload it here. And now we can hit confirm. And now it's uploading the video here of the watch. So very nice. We already have our campaign set up here. We just need to give it a name, video 1 watch again. And now we just need to give it an identity, meaning we need to connect our TikTok account, because right now TikTok ads doesn't know on which TikTok account it should run the ad. Therefore, we can click on connect account, and I already typed in my email, and then I can send me a code. And now I receive an email with a 6-digit code. I copy this and I go back to TikTok, and then I can just type it in or copy and paste it. And now I can authorize TikTok to connect to my TikTok account. So if you're working together with an influencer, then you can limit the access for the account so that you don't get all the access to this account. But since the ad account and the TikTok account is from me, I don't really care, because I have the full control of both. And therefore I can just accept it and give TikTok ads the full control over my TikTok account and click continue. And now my TikTok account is connected. I can select it here. It's already pre-selected, and you can see here it changed. Now I have my TikTok account here in the preview, and I can also say don't show the ad on my TikTok profile, and I will select this because otherwise TikTok will post the video on my TikTok profile, and I don't want to show it right now, because otherwise I would have published the post before on TikTok and then promote it inside Spark Ads, which we do after that. And down here you can also just type in the text, for example, summer sale, save 25% off our watches. And if you click here, then you will see the text will be displayed here. And yeah, just get creative. I think the text most people probably won't read, but to make it very tempting, I would always put like a coupon code there or like a nice offer, which will make people think twice about the offer. And then they might click on the call to action, the button down here. And for the button, we can also select different call to actions. For example, interested, visit the store, watch now. Watch now doesn't really fit the product. So, and sign up also not. Listen now. Order now is okay for an online shop. Book now, it's not okay. Shop now is okay. Play a game, no. And learn more, no. So I deselected all the ones which don't work for my ad, but the rest, the 4 other call to actions, I will leave, because then TikTok will optimize between the 4 call to actions for me. And here you have an optional product information box. So this will be like a card over the ad, like this one or this one or this one. And you can either tag your own product, which you earlier connected to your Shopify store, or you can upload an image, type in the title and the selling point. But I think most people are used to seeing a video and then clicking on the ad, but you can also A/B test this later to find out which is working better. So, but for now I will skip it because I like the ad how it is. And down here, most importantly, we need to give it a destination URL, so the URL to our Shopify store, and at best the URL to your Shopify product. So therefore, just put in the URL. For now, I will just take from my website, I will just take my normal URL here, but make sure it is linking to the correct product. You can do this by clicking on preview, and then it will bring you to the page you just connected here. So this is really important. Make sure you put in the right product URL in here. And here we have one last checkbox. By checking this box, you authorize the ad and the associate performance metrics of the campaign to be displayed on TikTok branded or affiliated platforms. We don't want this because we don't want to share our data with other people, how the ad is performing. I mean, it's nice for the community, but I just deselected because I don't want my sales data to be public anywhere. And down here you have the tracking, but we don't need this because on the ad group level, we already set up our pixel earlier, so we don't need any additional tracking. So on the last level, on the 3rd level, on the ad level, we just gave it a name. For some reason, it's always changing this. So I will change it back. I call it video 1, the watch. I uploaded my creative, chose my identity, my own TikTok account. I don't want to publish the video on my TikTok profile. I gave it a little bit of text and I chose some call to actions, and I gave it, most importantly, a destination URL of the product page. And now we are all set. Congratulations. Now we can publish your first TikTok campaign. Therefore, just click on publish. And now if you run your TikTok ads for the first time, you will see a pop-up asking for your credit card or your PayPal information. So please go ahead and just type in your billing information so TikTok can charge you, and you are all set to start running your campaigns. So right now you can see the campaign is still pending because TikTok will review your campaign if it's compliant with the TikTok ads policy. But this usually takes like 2 or 3 hours, but then it's done and then your ad will be live and will run. You can already see some of my campaigns here. Here I spent 20 euros, 7 euros, 9 euros, and I got a lot of clicks. But I will show you this at the very end because I will still run some campaigns to get you some more data, and then we can analyze this KPIs. For now, just be happy that you already created your first ad. So this is very good. And if you want to upload a second ad, maybe you have 2 or 3 videos, then you can just hit duplicate. And here you can make a number of copies. I will go with 1 for now, but you can create multiple copies to upload more than 1 or 2 videos. Then hit duplicate. And now we are again back on the ad group level, and we uploaded our first video. We can't change that, but this is the copy of the first video, so we just call it the second video. And now I want to show you Spark ads. Therefore, we click on update. So we change the content, and of course you could go ahead and upload your second video, but now we want to run some traffic to a TikTok post. And since we connected our TikTok account earlier, we can select all the videos which we currently have on our TikTok account. So that's very nice. I have posted 5 videos already, so I can just go ahead, select one, and then I can use it for my campaign. But I also want to show you the way when you work with an influencer, how to post their video and how to use their video inside your campaign and run it on their account. And therefore we need our phone, and I will show you this quickly how it's done. So here you can see my TikTok account. It's very new because I just published this one for this tutorial, and I could just select any video, for example this one, and down here you see 3 dots, and just click on the 3 dots, and then you can scroll all the way to the right, and here you see ad settings. So just go on ad settings, and now you just enable ad authorization here, and then you can select how long you want to authorize the ad to be shown in a different ad campaign. So just authorize, and down here you will get a video code. Just click on generate, hit save. And now you have a video code here. Just click on manage and you can copy the code. And now the code is copied to your clipboard. And now just send the code via email to your desktop PC or via AirDrop, for example. And then you can go here, click on add post, and you can just type in the code here and click continue. And it will give you access to this very video here. And it could be on my account, but it could be also on any other account. So this is how you can promote videos on other people's TikTok accounts, just to let you know. The whole thing is called Spark Ads, and you can just do this by connecting your account or using the code, which you can just type in here. But for now, I'm good. I will just take one of my videos here and click continue. And now it will put my video inside the ad campaign. And here I can do pretty much the same. I can select different call to actions, and I can also put the ad product information here. I can't put in the text because it will just take the text from my ad, which is also okay. But I can also then change the URL. So for example, if you're working with an influencer and he's promoting one product of your store, then you can also just change the URL to a different landing page, A/B test the whole thing, or whatever you want to do. So yeah, this is Spark Ads, and the main advantage is that the video is live on your TikTok account, so people can see it organically. They can interact with it, so they can comment, like, share the whole video, or save it for later. And that's why a lot of advertisers use Spark Ads, because you have the organic reach and the reach via your ads. And now you would just go ahead and publish the second video and it will be published. So congratulations, you just published your second ad. So that's very good now. We have 2 ads live here, which we just published. They are both pending. And since this is a Spark ad and this is visible on your TikTok account, you might want to manage your comments. So therefore you can go on tools and then on comments. And here you will see all the comments people might leave on your videos. And I would highly advise you to go through them from time to time to see if people are behaving nice on your comment section. And you can also just block words. So if someone is always mentioning the competitor, then you can just put in the name, the brand name of the competitor, and it will be blocked. And if one user is messing you up, you can also just block one user. And down here, you will see all the replies. So just to make sure that you don't get any hate here or any comments you don't like, then just check them from time to time under tools and then comments. But let's go back to campaigns for now. So because I want to explain to you how you can actually scale your campaigns. So this is our campaign for watches. Then we can just select it here, because now we will just see the ad group of this campaign. We have 1 ad group and we have 2 ads inside the ad group. And when it comes to scaling, you have 2 options on TikTok. You can either scale on the ad group level. So for example, you can just go in and instead of spending 20 euros or $20, you can just hit 40 euros, and then it will increase the budget to 40 euros. And this is called vertical scaling because you choose 1 ad group and then you just increase the budget. And there are a lot of rumors around vertical scaling. Should I just increase the budget by 10% or by 20%? Can I double it? And my take is, if you're at the very beginning of your campaign and you're just at 20 euros, you might want to scale fast. So 40 euros, 60 euros, 80 euros, for example, because TikTok will probably find you a lot of people who will also buy your product. But the more you spend, for example, if you spend $400, you don't want to double it, because then you have another $400 and TikTok will need to find a lot of people buying your product. So at the early stage, I have good experience with scaling fast because there are a lot of people in this world you can target, but the more budget you spend, it will get more and more complicated for TikTok to find you profitable customers. Therefore, you had the CPA target, which you can type in later. For the beginning, just go fast and see if your ad is still performing performing. If you still find customers for your target CPA, then you can go ahead. But the higher your budget is, the more likely it will decrease, because TikTok will go broader and broader and people will be less likely to buy your product. So this is vertical scaling, just increasing the budget on the ad group level. And if you have, for example, 2 ad groups here, you can of course increase both at the same time. But there's also horizontal scaling. And this is when you just duplicate the ad group. So for example, we can also just go on duplicate and make, for example, 2 copies of our ad group and just hit duplicate. And it will bring us back to the ads manager here where we can set this up. And here we have the first copy of our ad group. And for example, in this ad group, I could now just target women between the age of 20 and 45, and then just go down here and select female. And now I could go ahead and publish this. And of course, I have a second ad group, which I just created, but I can also just leave it the same, because sometimes TikTok will find different buckets of people. So for example, if I just publish this now, so I just published this, and now we have 3 different ad groups, one targeting women, the initial ad group targeting men, and then we have one identical ad group targeting the same audience. But this can also help because there are a lot of men between 20 and 45. So TikTok will just go out and find other people, and maybe for some reason they are more likely to buy, because at the end it's statistics and there's a likelihood of TikTok finding people who convert. Of course, in the long run, it probably doesn't make sense. At the beginning, when you're scaling, you can just duplicate it, and it's called horizontal scaling, and you can choose to have different targeting objectives, but it's also a trick to just duplicate the ad group to see if TikTok finds some better people who are buying your product. So yeah, this is really important how you scale, horizontal scaling or vertical scaling, but I would actually recommend going for vertical scaling. So for example, we have this one ad group here, men between 20 and 45, and then I can just increase the budget, because the most important part of TikTok ads are the ads themselves. So we live in a time where targeting is optimized by TikTok. So on an ad group level, you can't really do much more. So if you give it more budget, TikTok will just find you more people who can buy it for you. So if we leave the whole targeting very broad, for example, the entire US population, then just TikTok will find us the people. So we can't really do anything on the ad group level. But where we can be successful is on the ad level, because the ad is the creative, the ad is the story we tell, and the ad is converting visitors into customers. And therefore, I decided to make the second part of this course how to find winning ads and how to create the best ads, because you can get very technical on how to scale and 10%, 20% by day, but it doesn't really matter. If your ad and your offer is really good, you can just scale fast. TikTok will find you the people. They have AI, they know what they're doing. If you want to spend more, you can always spend more in their point of view. And therefore, what we need now is a really good creative. And therefore, I created the second part of this course. So stay tuned. We will first go to the TikTok Creative Center, find us some successful ads from our niche, and then I will show you 3 different ways how to produce them. So thank you a lot for staying until this point in the course. And if you haven't signed up for TikTok yet, as said, you will find the link down in the video description, and at the same time you're helping me and my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down here. I will make sure to answer them from time to time. And if you like it so far, please give it a thumbs up. It will tell YouTube that this was a good video. Thank you a lot. And yeah, just sign up if you haven't done so. And we see us now in the next part, where we'll show you how to create beautiful TikTok ads. So welcome to the second part of this TikTok ads course. And in this part, I want to show you how you can create beautiful TikTok ads just like this one.
Okay, I wasn't expecting much, but this passion fruit protein drink's so good. It actually tastes like real fruit.
But before we start creating those kind of TikTok ads, we of course first want to find out what is currently trending on TikTok, which ads are performing the best, what is our competition doing, and therefore we have the TikTok Creative Center, and I now want to show you how to use it. So basically the strategy is what Pablo Picasso used to say: good artists copy, great artists steal. We don't want to just go in and copy the videos from others, but but we want to steal some good stuff. So for example, a great hook, or maybe the copy is nice, maybe they used a nice voiceover, or the overall camera style and the cuts are really good. And then we can take those and use it for our own ads. And especially the hooks are really important because that's what pulls in the attention from the viewer. And once we then found some good creatives, then we go ahead and start producing those. And next we want to post them organically on our TikTok account and see what kind of creatives work the best. And then we can go ahead and run some TikTok ads to them. And once we find our winners, then we want to go in and just create some variation of these ads. For example, if I'm in the video, maybe a friend of mine just will do better. Or if I'm sitting in the office, maybe I just go outside and film me there. Or I just use some different hooks or some different copy, or maybe a different camera. Maybe I use my phone instead of my video camera here. And I can change the variation, but once I find the winner, I want to change this multiple times to just find the sweet spot and the best performing ad. And as said in the intro, we don't want to start from scratch now because others already paid a lot of money for finding out which ads work the best. Therefore, we can now go inside the TikTok Ad Creative Center and spy on our competition. And that is what we will do now. And after that, I will show you how you can produce the different creatives by using AI or a freelancer or just recording it yourself. In this video, I want to show you how you can find winning ad creatives for your TikTok ads. And there are two strategies you can use. And the first one is now here on TikTok. It's very simple. Just go on TikTok, go on search, and then you type in your niche. For example, if you sell sneakers, just type in sneakers, and then you will find winning ads for sneakers. For example, this guy here has over 20,000 likes on the video, or this one here has even more, 129,000 likes on the video. And then you can just go ahead and click on the video and watch what he does. So now he just steps in with different types of sneakers. And if you like the hook and the whole appearance of the ad, then you can just save it for now. And then you just browse through and find winning creatives and see if you can make like a conversion type campaign out of it. For example, he has even more likes on the video. He might be a good influencer, so a lot of people are following him. But let's see, he probably knows how to do the stuff.
Lightweight and comfortable. They feature Nike's signature Cushlon midsole paired with an encapsulated Zoom Air unit, as well as this.
And I think it's quite good in terms of the cuts and the captions, so very well made. So you can also save that. And later on, you just go through your saved videos and see what you can do with it. And this is the first strategy. Of course, nothing too fancy, but it's very effective to just see what is ranking organically and what is working for the people, how they cut the video, what type of hook they use, and what is the call to action in the end. So don't skip that step. But if you want to take it to the next level, we can do it now in the second approach. So yeah, just go ahead on the hamburger icon here on top, and then you can go to TikTok One. And here you can go on the tab Inspiration and then Top Ads. And under this tab, you will find the top creatives for different niches. For example, household products or beauty and personal care or health products. And you can just run through them and see what they do. For example, this video has over 39.7 million views, 29.5 million views, and so on. But what I like even better, you can go here on Top Ads Library, and then you can type in your niche. For example, here, go in and type in perfume. For example, if we now would sell perfumes, and then you can just go ahead and see what Dior is doing, for example. So that's a very good ad with Johnny Depp playing the guitar and like a wolf following him. So very high production value, but we now have AI, so you might want to just go ahead and do that. And it has over 170 million views, so you can see it's very successful for them. Otherwise, they wouldn't run it. Next to it is a Valentino ad, so you can go ahead and check this out. So this is very simple in creating it. So just 3 bottles and like a hand from a woman grabbing one, and it just says Valentino. So very easy to make. And here's another one from Valentino, and it just very fast zooms. You probably can go ahead and do that yourself with an iPhone. So just go through. These are like top performing ads on TikTok for the keyword perfume. We can type in shoes, for example, or sneakers, men's shoes. Then you can just go ahead and see what kind of shoes are promoted here. For example, New Balance, they have an ad here over 260 million views. It's very short, so branding ads usually are below 10 seconds because they are just there to make an impression. And the more you see the brand, the better you get to know it. So these are like the top ads, but of course they are more than just the top ads. We also have like dropshipping ads and UGC style ads. And therefore you can go on the Creative Center from TikTok. Just click here on the Creative Center and it will take you to this page. And the Creative Center helps you with a lot of things. For example, you can find out more about trends, about trending hashtags, about trending songs or creators, and even just TikTok videos, and just filter them by views. And you also get help with like TikTok Symphony. It helps you to write text and you can add music. You have a commercial music library and so on. So the Creative Center is really there to help you create new videos and new ads for TikTok. But most importantly are the ads, of course. Here under inspiration, you can go on top ads, and now we can also search for ads. They're kind of integrating the whole thing into TikTok One, but I'm used to using this one here because it works quite well. And here you can just type in, for example, watch, and then you can type in your country. I'm based in Germany, but if you want to take a look in the United States, just type it in, United States. Of course, the industry, but if we have a keyword here, you don't really need the industry anymore. And most importantly, the kind of objective of the campaign. For example, if you have a conversion campaign, it's probably not a branding campaign, because branding campaigns usually take the objective of reach, because they want to reach as many people as possible or get the most amount of views. But conversion is usually used by smaller Shopify stores or smaller dropshippers because they want an instant conversion for their ad. So yeah, you can filter by the objective of the ad and how old is the ad, last 30 days, last 180 days, for example, the language and how many likes it has, and the ad format. So just take a look, it's very self-explanatory. And now we just search for watches, and it will show us here, for example, a Rolex ad, how someone purchases a Rolex, and go through.
What would you do if you were in such a relationship?
Very boring, I think. Yeah, but I had a look earlier and I found a good ad from this guy here, which is a typical dropshipper ad, I would say. He has a very compelling hook at the beginning here. And now he shows the watches in the close-up. And it's very interesting because down here you see the interaction with the ad. For example, it has 1,000 likes, 54 comments and 20 shares, which is quite nice already. And the CTR is 42%. So 42% of all people watching this ad click on the buy now or learn more button. And what I think is quite interesting in this ad, here under remain, you have the watch retention. So when people drop off from the ad, and you can see down here at like roughly 6 to 8 seconds, most people drop off and stop watching the ad. And I can tell you why, because at the beginning it's quite a compelling hook. You see these watches here in the box and you can't really tell what it is. It looks like almost hand grenades in a box. So it looks very military style in a way. So it appeals probably to a lot of men. And then you're like, okay, the yellow stickers. And now there comes the watches and you're like, okay, that's the watches. They look nice. And from now on, from 6 seconds on, nothing new happens in the ad. For example, here, now you let it play and he just shows the watches on his hand and there's no cut and nothing new. So people drop off because they've seen it and they're like, no, I'm not interested. But if I would be this guy, I would recommend him to just put a cut in there. Like, for example, him wearing the watch in his car or showing off at a party or something. So the ad just gets boring after 6 seconds. But anyways, I think it's a good ad. You can tell here by the conversions. So when people start converting, and it's quite interesting, most people convert after 6 to 7 seconds because most people drop off here. You can see here, this is the drop off. And when we now watch at the clicks, 6 to 7 seconds, most people click there around this time. And then of course they stop watching the ad because they click on it. And then some of them might convert. And that's why the conversions are the highest around 7 seconds. Here at 1 second, these are probably just retargeted people people who saw the ad like 5 times and then they are like, okay, let's just buy it. You also have here the click-through rate when people click through, of course, same time, and also the conversion rate when people convert at 7 seconds. So that's quite nice. And down here you see more recommendations for you. So some similar ads from Cartier, but these are also again very high performing. Yeah, but it's quite nice. You have the brand name also, so we could go back and check other ads out because he seems like a professional dropshipper. Arabic Aurora watches. So this one is another top ad from him. So we can go on, see the analytics. You do have to give it to him. The watches look quite nice. They look like Batman would wear it. So yeah, and here again, you see when people are dropping off at 3 seconds and when people click, they click pretty much every time around the ad. And when do people convert the most? Yeah, in the middle, 4 seconds, and of course at the end. So yeah, this is how you would go ahead. Just go on TikTok Creative Center and then go on top ads, and then you can just type in whatever brand you're following, whatever keyword you might want to go for, and what kind of niche you are in and what kind of country. You can select it down here and sort it for you by reach, by CTR, so you can really find the best performing ads, the best performing hooks, and get going with your own ads. If you want to download them, quick tip, there's, for example, a software called Snaptic. You can just paste in the URL here and then just download it and show it to your team, or even steal some frames from it or copy the frames. So now you know what kind of videos are trending and working for others on TikTok ads. And now I want to show you how you can produce them. First, we want to learn how we can utilize freelancers or agencies. Next, I want to show you how you can create UGC style content with AI. And in the last part, I want to show you how you can do it yourself with your video camera, with your phone, and an editing program. And now let's start with the first one. So the easiest part is to have someone else create the content for you. Therefore, you will find the link to Fiverr.com down in the video description. It's also a partner link. Thank you if you use my link. And once you click on it, you will land on Fiverr. And this is basically a worldwide platform for freelancers. And you can just type in UGC Creator English or whatever your language is. And UGC stands for User Generated Content. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. And then you will find people who will create content for you. So before this video, I took a look and found a couple of great content creators. So for example, she is creating 15-second UGC videos for roughly $60 here. So that's very cheap. You can also go on the standard package. So it's 30 seconds, which is around $100. It's 90 euros. And the premium one is 136 euros, which is 60 seconds. It's around $150 at the moment. So, but first let's take a look what she actually does.
We're giving away our bestseller bundle for free. You get 4 of our bestsellers plus a free $20 gift card for your next order.
So this is typical UGC stuff. She's just holding the product and telling you about the next offer they have. And let's go ahead and look at someone else. I like this guy a lot because he does very professional editing.
Yo guys, let me tell you about my new best travel bank. This is the SnapCharge Power Bank, a game changer on my trips. I'm always running low on battery, so I need something that...
So he has a lot of different sequence in the video. He's changing the camera angle quite a bit, and he already showed the product in the first 10 seconds. So I like that a lot. And he's using subtitles. So he's very professional, I would say. And he's promoting this power bank and the quick UGC boost. It's 15 seconds and you pay roughly $90 for it. And the standard package from him, it's $120 roughly. So that's very, very cheap, and you don't really have to do anything because you just send him over your product and then he creates a video for you. And maybe another one.
I only started betting on Major League Baseball and National Football League last year, and I didn't...
You can see he's just talking to the camera like I do, not many cuts, so I don't really like that, but he has a lot of different gigs already, 190 reviews and all 5 stars, so probably he's also really good at it. And I also found a person from Belgium, so you are not limited to just English speaking people. For example, she's from Belgium, so she speaks probably French, Dutch and German, and then you can utilize her to create a video.
This is for all the brands and agencies looking for a content creator.
So she's also using a product, and you might heard it. She has a bit of an accent, which can be quite cute for your UGC video, but I'm pretty sure she also offers different languages. So you can go here and see, okay, she's Dutch, the native language, but probably she speaks more than, she speaks Dutch and English. So you can ask her to also make a video in Dutch. And the price is also quite nice. It's just 60 euros, so roughly $70 for a 15-second video. So yes, this is Fiverr. I will link it for you down in the video description. Just type in UGC creator and then your language, and then it will find you some UGC creators. And of course, these are freelancers, but you also have like agencies. And I always heard of the Bands of Ads agency, and they will create a bunch of different videos for you because they have a whole pool for UGC creators. And once you work together with them, then you can get a lot of different UGC content. But I think, of course, they might be more expensive because they also have the margin for the agency. So I would recommend that you start on Fiverr, because these are people you can just directly reach out to the UGC creator, and you don't have the markup from the agency. But yeah, this is kind of the done for you service. So you don't have to do anything yourself. They do the recording, they do the lighting, the voiceovers, the editing, and maybe even the scripting. Of course, you can always just go ahead inside ChatGPT and just say, okay, create me an authentic UGC video script for something, for your product, and then ChatGPT generates the video script for you, and then you can go to the creator and hand it over to them. But I think, why should it be you all the time? Because then it's nothing new. I would always just go and give it to the creator themselves, because they will just make it their own, and then they have to present it how they do it. Maybe they even are more experienced than you are, because for example, this guy here, he had over 190 reviews, so he probably knows what is working. Otherwise, he wouldn't be that successful. So this was the first option, just hand it over to someone else and you don't have to do anything. And now we want to look at the AI capabilities. And I'm sure when you watch this video, AI is already evolving, so it's quite fast, but I'll show you right now what is state of the art. So first we want to start with ChatGPT, and I just generated like a protein shake bottle here. Whatever your product is, you can also just take a photo of it, upload it to ChatGPT and say, please put it somewhere in front of the scene. But I just said, create me the whole entire product, because I don't really have a product right now to sell. But I think a protein shake is something every one of you can imagine. So I just have this protein shake now with passion fruit and mango taste. And I also just cut out the background, because then I can use it easier in the next step. Because what we want to do now is to utilize an AI called TopView, and I will also link this down in the video description for you. It's also a partner link, so thank you a lot if you use my link. It doesn't cost you any extra, it's just a link, a partner link linking to their homepage, and then you can sign up. And what TopView AI is doing is really crazy. It just puts like an AI avatar onto your product or in front of your product, and it's really fascinating because, for example, this guy is just standing in front of the motorbike here, and for example, the next one, the woman is sitting on the couch. So if you're selling the couch, you can just place her on this couch, and he's selling an AC, and the next one is selling a lawn cutter. So this is really crazy. You can put your product in front of the people, or they can hold it for you, and then you can put in the script, and then they will tell anything about the product, what you want them to say. So let's dive in. We can go to TopView AI. Just go click on the link down in the video description, and here you can see that you can create your video avatar, or you can make a product avatar, or you can even put for example, a jacket onto the person, so the model is wearing your jacket. First, let's start with the easiest one, the product avatar, because I think this is the most fascinating. So I can just go ahead and choose from all these avatars. For example, he's sitting on his balcony, or I can even choose a cat holding a product, which is also really funny. But I choose her because she had an orange juice standing here and kind of fits my product. And next I will go ahead and upload a product image. And now it's rendering in my product. And now I can see that the product is inside the image, and I can scale it, and then I can generate an image. And the first thing the AI will do is create an avatar holding the product. So now I have an image of her holding my protein shake, and it looks already quite natural, like she's proper holding it and the colors are kind of right. And then I can go ahead and just create an avatar. And in here, I will choose their new version because it's probably better. And then I can put in my text. And as you've seen in the beginning, I generated the script with ChatGPT, and now I can just put in the script here. I'll make it a little bit shorter because otherwise I will pay a lot of credits here. And down here I can select from AI voices. So for example, Violet.
Welcome to TopView.
Or Valley.
Welcome to TopView.ai.
I like her, so I choose her as the voice. And if you use a different language, you have all the accents, Chinese, Dutch, German, French, so you can use those languages. But I'm good with this in English, and then I hit just confirm. And down here, I can also select my subtitle style. So for example, this one kind of fits because it's yellow, but whatever you like, just put in your subtitles and it would automatically put in the subtitles for us. And then I can just hit generate, and now the AI will generate the video for us. And of course, like in any good TV cooking show, I prepared something for you, so we can go ahead and just watch this.
Okay, I wasn't expecting much, but this passion fruit protein drink's so good. It actually tastes like real fruit, super refreshing, not chalky at all. I've been having it after workouts or on busy mornings, and it keeps me full.
So that's quite nice. I mean, if you look at her facial expressions, you can kind of tell that this is an AI. But as I said, maybe 2 or 3 months from now, you won't be able to tell the difference anymore. And one trick is to download the whole video, put it into your editing program, and I will show you what kind of editing program you can use in a second, and then upload different scenes onto it. So for example, a product image or a tilt around the product or something else, for example, that she's pouring in the drink into a glass or that she's pulling the drink out of the fridge. So just put some different scenes on it so people don't get too hooked on finding out if she's an AI speaking to them or not. So different camera angles, different shots will help you to make this more natural, and people won't even question if she's an AI or not. And yeah, of course, you can go ahead and find different models. So there are very, very different models. I created, for example, her already. I think she looks very cute and holding up the product. It's quite nice. And you can also try out different products. For example, she is standing over a small swimming pool. He's showing the AC, but you would have to place the product. So just upload the product image and then place it here, like here in the picture you see with the AC. And then he just stands next to it and shows and describes the product. And it will also help in this shot. For example, he's way smaller, so you don't see the facial expressions that much. So maybe for these kind of long shot product videos, it's even better. But I'm already really happy with what we got here. So I think this is wonderful. I can already use it. And yeah, it's called TopView AI, and there are different AIs doing that. For example, Make UGC AI, or what was the other? Yeah, I don't know. But for example, the other ones were way more expensive. One was $100 a month. The other one was $120 a month. And this one is around $30 a month. So I think it's really cool. And if you have a product page, you can also just put in the link here from your Amazon shop or your Shopify shop, and it will automatically generate you some script, and you can choose the product avatar and put her or him in front of the product, and then they will tell anything about the product. So that's really cool. It's called TopView AI, link down in the description. But TikTok is kind of catching up to these AI tools because they want to do it themselves. So if you go back to TikTok and then onto your TikTok ads account and then on TikTok Symphony, just click on TikTok Symphony and you will land here, and you can see they kind of doing similar stuff. So image to video, so just upload your product and then TikTok will place it into a scene, or you can just generate TikTok ads with a link from your product page, or you have also avatars, or it can generate scripts for you. I can tell you, for example, the avatars, they don't look as nice. For example, this is a product avatar from TikTok. Let's have a look.
Okay, I wasn't expecting much, but this passion fruit protein drink, so good. It actually tastes like real fruit.
So it's not really lip syncing, and she's just doing the hand motion all the time. So it doesn't really look anything like a normal person would do while speaking. So I'm not too big of a fan of the avatar yet, but maybe they improve in the future very fast. But what is already working, I think, is the image to video. For example, here I just uploaded my image, and the first thing which TikTok is doing here, it generates some different backgrounds. So for example, here are some mangoes in the background. And then down here, you can just enter a prompt. They also give you some suggestions. For example, beach waves splash onto the product. I used this one, or you can just have camera motions. For example, zoom in, zoom out, or a static camera, or the camera rotates or tilts around the product. So that's really nice. And I tried it. For example, here, some beach waves going onto the product. And I do like it. It looks refreshing, and I could already download it and put it together with what we have created here. For example, download her, put it as the base video, and then I would just take some shots from here and put it onto the video. So she's not talking to the camera all the time. We have some more product shots. And I tried more than just this. For example, here the camera motion is just zooming out. So I like that a lot. It looks really beautiful. Or the camera tilt around the product, like the camera is just moving around the product. So it looks also very professional. And you can use these short videos to put onto your original project and make it more lively. And yeah, this is TikTok Symphony. You will find it inside TikTok Ads on the top left corner, and you can just go there and they will put more and more stuff in. Because for example, this generate your own avatar. It's not yet for everyone, so you have to get the early access. And this tells me that TikTok is really working on this. They will also have translation in there, a video editor, or refreshing your ads, so you can just upload your ad and then they will add some cuts, maybe some colors or whatever to it to make it a little bit more fresh. But for now, I'm really pleased with this image to video prompting. I think they do a great job, and I will definitely use it for some of my own ads, for have some camera motion. I also just uploaded like an image of a watch, and then it animated the watch ticking. So this was a still image, and then the watch was ticking, and I really liked that because the camera was moving around the object. So that was really, really cool. So yeah, this was the second part, how we can use AI to create UGC content. And of course, there are more tools out there. There's from Google Veo 3. There are other different UGC AI creator tools. There is Higgsfield, for example, which is also really good. But I like the Top View AI because it's especially for product UGC content. And yeah, if you want to try it, link down in the description. And now we want to come to the last part, actually you recording the video. And a lot of people ask me as a YouTuber, like, do I need a professional camera? And I can tell you, no, just take your phone for it. Because if you have an iPhone or any other smartphone, the camera or one of these three cameras is definitely good enough to record you. And what is more important is the sound, because people don't listen to crappy sound. And of course, the lighting. I have a professional light up there. And when you record yourself, always make sure that you look into the light kind of. So the light should come from the front. And if you don't have a professional light, just go to the window and film yourself from the window. And if there's too much sunlight out, you will get a lot of harsh edges on your face from the light. So soften up the light a little bit, but maybe you just pull down the curtains a little bit and just make the light a little softer. It's especially good on cloudy days, because on cloudy days, the clouds will actually make the light a little bit softer. You can definitely tell the difference because direct sunlight always makes these hard shadows, and you don't want that on your video. But yeah, first start with your phone, just record it, and I will also show you how you can enhance the voice. So you can also just choose the audio from your phone. If you do want to get a little bit professional, then I can recommend you first get a professional mic. For example, there's the DJI Mic Mini, and it's, I think, the best mic out there for like this kind of UGC style content, talking to TikTok cameras. And because it's from the drone company DJI, and it's very good. You can actually plug it into your USB-C port from your phone, and you have two microphones, so you can also do an interview situation, and it's very small. You can put it on your sweater or on your shirt, clip it there with a magnet, and then you can record yourself. And I think here it's 124 euros, so probably $140. It's quite cheap, and you will get very professional sound with noise cancelling. So I can highly recommend these two. I have them myself, and I'm a very big fan of the DJI mic. If you don't find it on Amazon, I can also link it down in the video description. Maybe it's also a partner link. And next, you want to get some lighting. Here you have a ring light, and this is especially good for like makeup tutorials or talking to the camera, because it will give you some light circles around your pupils from the eyes. And this is very nice. You can try it out. It's just 30 bucks here. And the next part is maybe a professional studio light. You can have this one or like a softbox, and then you can light up the room, light up the product which you are showing on your desk, for example, and it's just just $140, so it's also kind of okay-ish. As said, I wouldn't get a camera for like 2,000, 3,000 euros. I would just take my phone, get professional on the sound, because this is very important, because ugly sound is very annoying to listen to, and then get some light either to talk to the camera or to light up your product, whatever you are showing there. So most importantly, you need an editing software to edit your videos which you recorded on your phone, or maybe even your AI videos which you just created with TopView AI, for example. And I used to search for an editing software for over a year. So there's so many out there: Premiere Pro, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, and so on, iMovie even. But I can recommend CapCut because it's mainly free and it's definitely made for social media, because you have a lot of subtitle animations and you have everything like transitions and animations out of the box. So that's really cool with CapCut, that it's definitely made for social media. So I would recommend for you getting CapCut and stop your search for a good editing software, because for TikTok videos or for Instagram Reels, it's really the tool to take. So let's take a quick look. Of course, I can't make a full tutorial on CapCut now, but I want to show you how quickly you can learn it, to take you the fear of learning it. And if you sign up for CapCut, please go ahead and watch a full tutorial on CapCut. It will definitely help you. So first, you will want to upload your video, or if you recorded multiple scenes, just upload your scenes, and then you can zoom in. And here I have an English video of mine, and first you can cut it. For example, here at the beginning I have some dead space, so I can just cut it, and then I can just get rid of this, and it will automatically pull it back to 0. And you can do so by either just cutting it. So here you have cut, and then you can also hit Command B and it will cut it, or you can ripple delete, and you can do this by hitting the key Q, and it will automatically delete everything left from the bar here. Or you can do the same here with W, and it will delete everything on the right. And now you would go in, zoom a little bit in, and you would cut out every dead space. So for example, here is a little dead space. Then I can just go ahead, put my bar here, hit cut, and hit cut again, and then I will just hit the backspace and it will automatically delete this part. So that's easy. You can just go through your whole scene and just cut out uhs and pauses and when you breathe, because that's really boring. No one wants to see that. And to make your life really simple, you can now just put on subtitles. So therefore just go on captions, and then you can select your language, for example in this case English, and then you hit generate, and it will automatically generate captions for us for this 40 or 26 seconds. It will just take a minute or two, and now it's already done, but the captions kind of look ugly and we want to animate them. First we hit here the pre-style. I like this one because if you don't have it, it's just white, and if the background is white, nobody can read the text. That's why you want to give it a black border, because then now everyone can read it even on a bright background. And then you hit animate and go on captions, and here you can select, for example, this one. This is the Hormozi style, so to say, and it will automatically animate the captions for you as such. So that's really cool already. It's already really engaging because people read the text. And now I say something about the promote button, and I want to show it here. So I want to just upload a picture of the remote button, and I have it here on my desktop, so I can just drag it in. And this is the TikTok promote button, and I just want to let it pop up. So I just put it here like an image, and now I can make it a little bit smaller, and now I can either put it down here, up here, but I will just put it in front of my face because that's very aggressive, so to say, and people will definitely pay some attention to it. Please don't click on the now I say promote button, and then it should pop up, so I can just zoom in a little bit, drag my image up here, and then I can put in a sound effect. So you go on audio and then sound effect, and then you just hit, for example, a simple pop sound. If you click on it, it will give you the sound. I'm really happy with the first one, so I can just hit plus. And now I would just put the sound above the beginning or under the beginning of the pop-up here. And now I just have it the promote button like this. The promote button. So I think that's already really engaging. And if you want to animate something, you can also animate the picture. So for example, I like this one. Button inside it's like a click open, so then I can just put in a different sound. For example, here the mouse is clicking, then I can just type mouse click sound. I'll just take the first one and make it a little bit quieter. And now let's hear it. Button inside the tick. So maybe a little bit back. Button inside the tick. So that's already perfect. And of course it should disappear at some point. And let's hear the sound. TikTok app. I know it looks tempting and easy to click. And now I'm kind of finished with the picture, so I can just drag this to the left and then it will disappear. And if I want to be super professional, I can just animate this again, the out animation, so I can just let it fly down or slide up. And now let's see. Please don't click on the promote button inside the TikTok app. I know it looks tempting and easy to click. And I like this a lot because I say click on the button and it makes this click sound here. So that's really engaging. And you can just put pictures here, but you can also put videos here. And therefore I can recommend you Pexels, for example. Here, this is a database of stock videos or stock photos. And if, for example, here I needed a video where people count money and I just downloaded this one, for example, then you have to give some credits to the people who created this creative. Just read through the licensing and then I can just drag it in from my downloads and just put it on top. And now I have another video on top of my video. Results, you can achieve way better results when you run your ads. And if I want this to disappear, I can just select it and hit cut again and it will cut my video here. And now I have another video on top of my video, which is called a B-roll. So for example, this is what you would do inside the, for example, top view. You would just download this video and then you can just download these camera angles, which we just had here. And then you can put this B-roll onto this shot here and then have it created for you. So yeah, this is CapCut and these are the basic functionalities. Just put in the graphic, animate the graphic, how it's flying in, put in some sound effects, of course, and you can of course also have some transitions. If you cut the main video here, then you have some transitions onto the video. For example, an easy blur, I can just add it. It doesn't make sense now, but let's see. Easy to click, but it will give you way more. So you have some transitions from scene to scene, but if you just put on like a new video, you can just animate it like here as such. I don't know, let it fly in, for example. So yeah, this is CapCut. You see, you can do pretty much everything you need. Everything is kind of pre-made. You have caption styles, you have a lot of different transitions, you have audio, which you can use already in there. You can test it even for copyright infringement, which is also really nice because then you get no problem with that. And then you can just hit download and download the video in, for example, HD, 2K or 4K, and just download the video and then upload it to TikTok. And as we said at the beginning, my winning ad strategy, when you created a reel or a video for TikTok, then just upload it organically to TikTok. See how many engagement you get, how many likes, comments and clicks and so on and views. And when you see, okay, this one is performing really nicely, then you can put some ad dollars behind it and promote it inside TikTok ads with, for example, the Spark ads. And then you scale what is working. So I always do like an 80-20 rule. I create some videos with different hooks, different copy and so on. And I don't put too much effort into the editing because I will just first upload them, see how they do. And if they're doing fine in the ads, for example, then I find my winner and then I make this one really good. I put sound effects there, I put transitions there, I put subtitles there. I mean, you can put these from the beginning because they're really easy to create. But what I mean by that, you don't need like a super fancy video from the beginning. Just see if your product sells at all, see what kind of videos are working, and when you find your like 2 or 1 or 3 winners, then really dive in and make it better for a broader audience. So that's why I try to describe you here. My winning ad strategy is always steal what is working from the TikTok Ad Creative Center, create a couple of videos, upload them, and then really find out what is working and take a deep dive and go all in on these kind of creatives which are working for you. And yeah, so this was the second part of the video, how to find winning ads and how to create them. And last but not least, we have the bonus chapter where I will show you now how I run my own ads for this course, for example, and I will tell you a little bit about the key performance indicators such as cost per mil, cost per click, and cost per acquisition. So if you have any questions till here, feel free to leave a comment or give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And I see you in the next chapter now where I will show you my campaign. So since you watched all the way up to here, to this end of the course, I want to give you a little bonus and show you how I run my campaigns in my TikTok Ads Manager. And I have two campaigns live here. One is the community interaction campaign and the other one is a conversion campaign. And I will show you in a minute what type of conversion I want here in this campaign. But first, let's start with an easy one, with the community interaction campaign. And I run this campaign to get a little bit more followers on my profile, on my TikTok profile. So what I did is I took this video and the first video and I just put it into the campaign and said, TikTok, please get me some more followers. And it actually worked pretty well. I have already 141 follower and I paid roughly 53 euros for it, which is roughly $60. And before we dive in, you see you have a lot of abbreviations here like CPC, CPM, CTR. So let's have a quick look what these abbreviations mean. Therefore, I made a quick slide here. For example, we start always with CPM because it's the number of impressions, cost per mil. So what do you pay for 1,000 impressions? Usually this is between $10 and $30 depending on your campaign goal. Whatever you choose, it can be more expensive or less expensive. The next one is CPC and it's cost per click. So how much you pay per click. And you also have CTR, which is the click-through rate. So for example, if you have 100 impressions on your video and 5 people click, you have a click-through rate of 5%. And most importantly, for most Shopify owners, you have the CPA. It's called cost per acquisition. So what do you pay per acquisition? For example, if you're selling Nike shoes for, let's say, $200 and you pay $40 per sale, then your cost per acquisition is $40. And the other KPI, the last one, you can calculate this from your cost per acquisition and your sale price. You have your ROAS, return on ad spend. So for example, if I spend $1 on TikTok ads, how much dollars do I get back? If it's $5, my ROAS is 5. In the example of the Nike shoe, if you sell your shoe for $40 and the sales revenue you get is $200, then you also have a ROAS of 5 because 40 times 5 equals 200. So these are the KPIs, the main KPIs you need to make sense of your campaign data inside your TikTok Ads Manager. And most importantly, please write that down. You always want to measure your campaign success on the KPI which you are optimizing for. So for example, if I'm going for community interaction, I don't want to optimize for CPM because this is not what I want. I want followers, so therefore I should look at the follower result. For example, in this case, I got 125 paid followers from my overall campaign budget. Because what you see here, for example, the conversion campaign, here we got way cheaper cost per mil because we got a lot more impressions. We got 12,000 impressions for 75 euros. And here we only got 2,000 impressions for 53 euros. So in terms of CPM, this campaign is doing way worse. But if we go all the way here and we see paid followers, we see, okay, here we got 125 and here we only get 2. So TikTok really knows what it is optimizing for. And since getting a follower can be really expensive, therefore TikTok is only showing this to valuable individuals on TikTok. And therefore it can be more expensive to reach a lot of people. But therefore these people are way more likely to convert as a paid follower on your account. So please note, whatever you are optimizing for example, if you have an online shop, the KPI which is most important for you is cost per acquisition and not what you pay for per click. So now we cleared that up and now we can take a look at these two campaigns. Up here you have your date and for example you can choose today or the last 7 days, last 14 days or whatever you spent in a lifetime of the campaign. And you have different custom tables. So for example you have the default table, you have the table for reach campaigns, you have the table for community interactions or for shop ads. But I leave it at default for now because we want to go to the ad group level and therefore we can just click on the campaign. Let's start with the community interaction campaign. And here we see what is our budget. It's 20 euros daily. And you can put in a bid. What do you want to pay per follower? I put in 50 cents. Of course, the higher you go, the easier TikTok will spend your money. But I think 50 cents per follower is a good number. And then I can just go in, see how much impression I got on my videos. And most importantly, how many followers did I get and what did I pay per follower? And here I paid 43 43 cents per follower. And that's quite nice. So 43 cents per follower is nice. So I can keep that running and get some more conversions. And now really important what I told you, if we go to the ad group level, it's highly depending on how good your ad is performing. For example, here we can see that this ad, the ad tutorial, gets a follower for 37 cents and the other one for 43 cents. So this is really more expensive than this one. And of course I would let it run a little longer. So this first ad should also spend over 40 euros, for example. But in the long run, you can take a look which ad is performing better. And then you can just disable this ad, for example, and only keep this running because it gets you the result very cheap or cheaper than this ad. This is what I meant earlier by optimizing your campaigns. So you always want to throw in new ad creatives so you can find out which ad creative is getting you the cheapest follower. And this is still expensive. I believe that there are way cheaper followers to get, and it only depends on how good I am in my creatives. Therefore, you should at least test 5 to 6 or 10 different creatives in one campaign to really see where you can get the cheapest result. Yeah, and the same goes for the other campaign. So here I didn't try to get more followers on my TikTok account. I just wanted to have conversions. And what I did, I had a campaign page here where I showed people how to get the TikTok ad bonus, which I already showed in this video. I said you will find the link to it down in the video description. And I tried to promote this here on my German page. It's in German, and people should click here, watch the video, and then click and then register for TikTok. And the good news, they actually did. So a lot of people clicked on this button, and I made a conversion event on the button. So whenever someone clicked on the button, it triggered a conversion, and we can see here that I actually got 21 conversions and I paid 3.58 euros for it. So when we go back, I see here, okay, 26 people actually clicked, and maybe 5 times it was me, but the other 21 people, they were from this campaign, and I paid 3.50 per person to click on this button, and then they registered on the TikTok Creative Ads Manager here. And also here we can just click in, go to the ad group level and see the numbers here, and I can raise the budget if I'm happy with the conversion rate and the cost per acquisition here. Then I can of course raise it to 60 euros, 90 euros, 100 euros or whatever. But most importantly, as said, we want to optimize by having good creatives. And down here I saw that I pay 3 euros and 11 cents on this video. So this video is doing better than this video because here I paid 3 euros and 81 cents. So this is more expensive, and that's why I turned off this video and let this video run, because it gets me cheaper conversions. And yeah, this is how you optimize. So you look at the KPIs, and if you have a sales campaign, you look at your cost per acquisition. If you have a click campaign, you look on your CPC cost. And if you have a reach campaign where you just want to reach a lot of people, telling them about your brand, then you watch your CPM cost. So always make sure that you only look at the cost of your conversion or whatever you're optimizing for. Because for example, here the conversion rate is lower, just 0.12%. And here it's a little bit higher, but still we pay more per conversion than here. So what I am interested in, how much I pay per conversion and how many conversions I get for my money. So this is what I'm most interested in, and therefore I want to optimize this. And I want to throw in 5 to 6 to 10 more creatives, and then I can go ahead, once I've found my best performers, then I can also increase my budget and get more and more conversions if I'm running this profitable. So yeah, these are the KPIs you need to make sense of your conversion data. You can always deactivate the whole campaign, of course, if you're not satisfied, but I'm pretty happy with these ones, so I keep them running. And now, really important, now comes the bonus of the bonus chapter. Since we just started, we don't need this from the get-go, but at a later point in time, we want to, of course, retarget people. So what we now do is to get people over to our page. For example, on my page here, on this page, 113 people clicked on the ad. So I would say roughly 100 people ended up on this page. But what if I want to retarget those people? Because they showed an interest in the first place, and now I just want to get them back and really make the conversion on my page. They should really just register for TikTok, because maybe they were on the train or on the bus or in the car and they just saw the ad, and then they were like, yeah, interesting, and they clicked on it, and then they were like, I don't have time for it right now, but maybe they have time tomorrow. So therefore I want to retarget them. And you can do this by going to Tools and then the Audience Manager. And on the Audience Manager tab, you can create an audience for you. So you just click on Custom Audience. And here you have a lot of different sources of where you can get your people or your data from to create this audience. So for example, you can have a custom file. So if you, for example, have an online shop already and you have 2,000 existing customers, then you can just upload a CSV file here, and then you can create an audience out of your data. Or app activity, if you have an app, you can just ping back the actions people take in your app to TikTok. You can also take people from the lead generation list. So if they had an instant form on TikTok and they put in their name and their email address, then you can retarget them. Or if they have been to your TikTok shop, you can also retarget them. But I think for most of you, this column is most exciting because you can have engagement. So people who saw your content and engaged with your content, you can retarget them. People who have been on your website. So in this case, for example, 100 people already have been to my website and now I want to retarget them. So I can do this with website traffic. Or people who, for example, interacted with my business account. And these are just people who followed me, for example, on my business account, or who watched a video for 2 seconds or for 6 seconds on my account. And then I can just give it a name, for example, all my followers. And then I can just confirm and save this audience. And then I can use this audience in my campaign. So for example, if I just want a campaign or a video ad to show to my followers, then I can just go ahead and choose the option here, followers. And then I use this audience inside my campaign. So only my followers will see the ad. So that's very nice. Yeah, you can just go ahead and do this. For example, engagement is always a nice one. Here you can select a video. For example, from my TikTok account here, I can select all the videos or just the first 3. And here the action, they should have watched the video for 6 seconds, because then I can make sure that they actually saw something of my content and not just skipped over the video. And for example, in the last 14 days, so I have all the people who interacted with these 3 videos in the last 14 days, and I can just give it a proper name here, and then I can click confirm, and then I can retarget all the people who have seen my ad in the last 14 days. And yeah, but most of the time people with an online shop do the website traffic, because here you can actually say what kind of URL they have been to. For example, if they've been to a certain product page, if they have been to your blog, and then you want to retarget them. And you can also add rules here, so you can broaden or narrow your audience. So for example, we can exclude everyone who has been on the thank you page, because those people already bought on our page, and then we don't want to show them a new ad. Or maybe we do. That's depending on your campaign setup, on which person you want to target. But some people always want people who have been on a URL which includes the product. For example, in Shopify it's always products. It contains the URL of the product page contains products. Then you can just put it in here. And people who view a page in the last 30 days which includes products, they are included in the audience. And we want to exclude people, so people who carried out the following action, who to exclude in your audience. So the people who have been on the thank you page because they have a page view on the thank you page. So now we only have people who watched the product but didn't end up buying it. So these are the people, for example, we want to retarget. So for example, I would call this shop visitors, no buyers included in the audience, and then I hit confirm. And now TikTok is populating these audiences for us. And at the beginning, you don't see any data because first it takes 24 hours to populate the data. And for example, these 2 are unavailable because we don't have more than 1,000 people inside the audience. So you need at least 1,000 people inside the audience. This is because data privacy policies from TikTok. So the audience needs to have a certain size. But yeah, once you have some data and spend a couple of thousands on your campaigns, then you will get some data here and you can create an audience. And then inside your campaigns, you can choose this audience. Before we do so, I want to show you one more concept, which is a lookalike audience. And this is also very nice because here you can then select one of these audiences, and then you can say the audience size should be balanced and the location, for example, should be United States. And then TikTok will find you people who are on TikTok inside the United States who look alike your shop visitors or who look like people who purchased something from you. So for example, if you have a watch store, an online store for watches, and people purchase this, then TikTok will find you people who are also about to buy a watch, because TikTok has so much data and they have an AI optimizing everything. So they really do know what you are up to when you use the app. And therefore you have this lookalike audience, because now you can find people who are similar to people who already did a valuable conversion action on your site. And then you can also just hit confirm, and TikTok will populate you a lookalike audience. And when you are back inside the campaigns and you create a new campaign, then you can, for example, have a sales campaign for your website, and then we hit next. And now on the ad group level, we can go down to the targeting option. And here in audiences, we can now go ahead and select our custom audience. Since they haven't been populated, now you can't see them. But once they are, you can choose them from here or your lookalike audience. And then you can just target people who have been to your shop and make a retargeting campaign. This is really important. Once you spend a certain amount, you will get more data on your shop, on your TikTok account. And then you can start making more money by retargeting these people. But as said, you don't need this right now because we're just starting out. We just spent a couple of $100 here, and we need more spending to get more data. And yes, this was pretty much the course. I hope you liked the bonus chapter and how I run my campaigns, and I hope you learned a lot. And if you want to get started with TikTok, as said, you will find the link down in the video description. So just click on it and it will bring you to this page. And here at the bottom, you will see the current offer. I'll make sure that I will always link the correct offer here. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and if you watched up to here, you pretty much enjoyed the video, I think, then you can also give it a like. It will help YouTube to understand that this was a good video. And yeah, thank you for listening, and good luck with your campaigns. I hope you just enjoyed the whole thing. And if you know someone else who needs to run some TikTok ads but don't know how to do that right now, then maybe you can just forward this course to the person, and yeah, maybe he or her will also enjoy watching it. Thank you for listening. Anyhow, we see us in the next video. Goodbye.